Let's talk about counting in this lesson because it's easy, it's fun, and it's a fundamental topic that we're going to find ourselves using again and again. So let's talk about the different count formulas and see how they work and understand some of the nuances there. So let's just take a look at this. I've got a list of data here, and it's a mix of numbers, some text, and some gaps, some blanks. So let's just see how the count formulas work with this data here. So obviously the first one, it's simple, it's counts, and we'll just count A, column A, and we'll close parentheses, and you'll see what's interesting is if I look, it only counts the numbers. So let's try count A. So let's just count, and then we add an A at the end there, open those parentheses, let's do the whole column again, and this time it counts everything. That's a really important distinction to make. Next up, count blank. Let's have a quick look at that one. It's an easy one. So again, I'm going to give it the whole of column A and just see what it does. And it counts all of the blank cells in column A. It's going to count those two there, and then it's going to count everything from there down, all the way down to the 1000 there. If I do count blank again, and this time we'll just select the range. We won't include anything below here. So we'll just select that range, close that parentheses, hit enter, and it just gives me those two blanks, which are these ones here. So let's try count if now. This is another pretty simple one, but very useful. So maybe I want to count how many items are above a value of 10. We'll say count if, and again the range, we'll just put the whole of A in, and then the criteria is going to be greater than 10 for this one we said. So there were 6 that were greater than 10, so there's 1, there's 2, etc. You can have multiple conditions, so this was, let's just put this in, greater than 10. So let's do between 10 and 50 in this one. So this time we can do count ifs. So this has the S at the end, it has 2 conditions. So again, we'll count this range. I'm going to say greater than or equal to 10. Then we need to specify the range again. So A, and we'll do less than or equal to 50. So we'll make it inclusive. So how many are there between 10 and 50 inclusive? And there were 3. So let's just quickly check that. So there's 1, it counted that one, it counted that one, and then it counted the 11 at the bottom there. So they were my 3. So that was the count ifs. And then we have count unique. And again, count unique, as you might expect from the name, it counts all the things in this column, but it just doesn't count any duplicates, it just removes. So that one counts uniques. Now, another interesting property of the count uniques is that we can count column A again, as we did. Then we can also chuck in through extra values. We can just add these manually in. So, and it will count them. It doesn't matter whether it's text or whether it's numbers. It will just add those. So it's counting the 18 that we had before that are in column A. This is a 19th one, which is extra value, which obviously doesn't appear anywhere. This is then 999, which is the amounts, and then 0.1 is another amount, and that gives us 21. Now, just to prove, if we were to add in, I can see, for example, that delta here is in AA already. So if we add delta in, we shouldn't see any increase. And there we go, it just stays at 21. So it doesn't, again, it removes this count here because it's already counted it once in the column A. And then finally, if we just also, again, restrict to the range, let's just make sure, let's see what we get when we restrict to the range, then it should give us, it does, and it gives us that same value as up here. Let me show you one other thing. We can do counting with wildcards, which is a really useful technique. So here I have a list of all the blog posts on Ben L. Collins, and let's say, just to begin with, I just want to do a standard count. Remember, we use count A because count doesn't give us that. Count doesn't count these ones because they're text. So that was the count A. And now let's say we want to count everything in the spreadsheet category. And that's, if I look down here, you can see that there's one, spreadsheets. This is SQL, a WordPress one, on a front end, spreadsheets. So we'll do count if, and again, the range is going to be this. And then this time we're going to use the wildcard star, which just means it represents any value. So any letter, any number in my text strings here. And then we want to do everything with spreadsheets, and then put that / again, and then another star. And that means you can have anything before, then it must have the word spreadsheets with the dash with the / and the 2 /, and then again it can have anything after the word spreadsheets. I want to count that one, so then I can just close the parentheses, hit enter, and it counts 37 for me, which is all of the ones tagged spreadsheets. And there we go, that's it. That's a few little tricks with the count formulas. That's all I want to show you in this one. So thanks for watching.